on my way. When I move like this, no delay. When I move like this, on my way. Feel it come and go, one step and I'm out the door. When I move like this. When I move like this, no delay. When I move like this. On my way, feel it come and go, one step and I'm out the door. When I move like this.
You're watching VCT Pacific 2026. Earn everything.
Welcome everybody to VCT Pacific. It is day 2 of the playoffs and we have some very, very important matches for you guys today. I'm Mika Fabs here on the desk along with Pilski, Jen Lee, and we have Silkanon from Nongshim joining us for a very, very quick word before their match today. 안녕하세요, Silkanon. Welcome here to the English desk. Now, first things first, I want to ask because Nongshim is obviously back on the Neon Yoru and they're experiencing a lot of success, the kind of success that we like. Is it exactly like before or is it somewhat different because of the experience that Nongshim have gathered throughout the year?
감독님, 농심이 이제 네온요루를 다시 가져오면서 폼이 확 올라왔는데 산티아고쯤에 쓰던 네온요루랑 좀 느낌이 비슷한가요? 아니면은 뭔가 경험치가
그래서 이것저것 경험을 하다 보니까 좀 내공이 쌓인 것 같습니다.
Well, I would say it's different from the last time we were having success with it because of the nerf. To Yoru, you have one less flash, one less TP, and then even with Neon, the movement speed on the bunny hop isn't the same. So there's actually like less gimmicky things you can do. But because we switched back to it, the process kind of allowed us to build a lot more know-hows. So
Okay, and was it something also that the players had to sort of readjust? They're very, very comfortable with each other, of course, but did they have to get into this new kind of rhythm also and build from like square one?
그러면은 이게 다시 돌아오면서 뭔가 선수들도 좀 많이 적응을 다시 했었어야 됐을까요?
적응을 했었어요.
네, 이렇게 좀 메타 변화가 하면서
네.
TP도 줄어들고 뭐도 줄어들고 했는데
네네. 아무래도 적응이 좀 필요했던 게 근데 이것뿐만이 아니라 솔직히 저희가 EWC에 돌아오고 나서 TP 5초 늘은 거 가지고 막 그렇게 크게 신경을 쓰진 않았거든요. 근데 그거 하나로 이제 또 이제 나오고 안 나오고가 차이가 있다 보니까 아무래도 좀 뭔가 이전 요루랑 비교했다기보단 지금 피닉스보다 좀 더 좋은지에 대해서 좀 생각했던 것 같습니다.
Well, yeah, but more than that, after we came back from EWC, we didn't actually think that the 5-second additional time for the TP cooldown would affect us that much. But we had to work our way around that. But I think for us, it's mostly around whether to pick this Yoru because it's better than the Phoenix in this meta or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we got the slight nerf on the Phoenix, so I guess there's more decisions to be made there. I wanted to ask about the matchup against Gen.G. You guys played them in the groups before, and Gen.G was able to beat Nongshim. What's going to be different this time around now that you're playing them in playoffs?
젠지를 다시 만나게 됐는데 그룹 스테이지에서는 젠지가 농심을 상대로 승리를 했거든요. 오늘은 좀 어떤 게 달라질까요?
아무래도 저희가 이게 매번 느끼는 거지만 국제전을 하고 있을 때와 국제전을 하고 있지 않은 지역권에서 항상 메타가 다르더라고요. 그러니까 저희가 EWC에서 경기하고 있었을 때는 그땐 네온 피닉스 위주로 나왔는데 막상 이제 돌아와서 경기 이틀 앞서서 준비하고 있을 때 스크림을 해보니까 세이지 체인버가 굉장히 많이 나오더라고요. 그래서 저희가 그 세이지 체인버를 좀 뭔가 대응하기에는 좀 연습도 충분하지 않았고 그거에 대해서도 좀 시간이 좀 필요하다라고 느꼈던 부분이라 좀 그게 좀 어려웠다 였던 것 같습니다.
I think for us, it was more about how the metas were different at global events and in the specific regions. For example, when we were in EWC, the meta seemed to be Neon Phoenix, whereas when we came back and started scrimming Pacific teams or teams that were closer to our region, we saw a lot of Sage and Chamber. So it felt like we needed more time to adapt to that specific comp. But now that we have enough time, I think we could do a lot better.
And how is playing against the Double Sentinel Sage Chamber versus Cypher Deadlock different? Like for me, I see Sage Chamber as like it's flexible defense, whereas Cypher Deadlock's static defense. How is approaching playing that different?
일단은 세이지 체인버와 사드록을 상대할 때 차이도 좀 같은 투감시자지만 좀 다르잖아요. 왜냐면은 개인적으로 보면은 그 세이지 체인버는 약간은 유동적으로 할 수 있지만 사드록 같은 경우에는 되게 정확히 정해진 플레이를 잘 수행해야 되는 스타일이라고 생각이 드는데 어떻게 좀 상대할 때 다르신가요?
세이지 체인버랑 사드록이랑 그래도 확실하게 다른 거는 사드록 같은 경우에는 그래도 뭔가 저는 오히려 그 두 캐릭터가 이제 전체적으로 공격적으로 할 수 있다고 생각을 하거든요. 그 덫도 걸리면 죽을 수도 있고 이제 데드록 같은 게도 센서 걸리면 이제 거기서 아예 싸움이 안 되다 보니까 근데 세이지 체인버 같은 경우에는 저는 좀 더 약간 사드록의 기본 밸류보다는 그 약간 적이랑 싸우는데 좀 능하다라고 느끼고 있거든요. 사드록 같은 경우에는 그냥 우리가 이렇게 할 거다라고 셋업을 하는 느낌이라면 세이지 체인버는 그냥 내가 나가서 잡고 우리 팀이 싸우면 뭐 부활시키고 약간 이런 부분에서 좀 능하다 보니까 뭔가 투감시하지만 투감시하라고 하기 좀 애매한 그러니까 뭔가 요루가 죽은 상태에서 뭔가 요루를 상대하는 느낌이었어요.
알겠습니다.
네.
Well, I actually think the Cypher Deadlock comp allows you to play aggressive. And you can be more fluid in that sense because even with the trap, you can die. And even with the Deadlock sensors, when you're facing the Deadlock, then you really cannot fight back that easily. So I just feel like you can kind of dictate the style that you want to play.
Yep.
Whereas I think the Sage and the Chamber is more like you're leaving it up to the individuals to take those fights
Yep.
and snowball from there for the team. But for me, I just felt like when I was facing the Sage and Chamber, it just felt like Yoru died, but we're still kind of facing Yoru.
And I wanted to ask whether Silkanon thinks he has like a little bit of an advantage against Genji this time around, because the map pool has kind of changed. Like Breeze is out, Nongshim aren't first banning Summer anymore, as well as their roles have changed since the last time they played Genji. Do you think that's going to make it hard for people to prepare against Nongshim?
그리고 이제 젠지도 농심 상대로 긴장을 많이 해야 되는 게 어쨌든 서밋이 웨플에서 서밋 일단 어비스가 들어왔고요. 네, 서밋을 더 이상 배나지 않고요.
네.
그 다음에 또 역할도 예전 거 쓰던 걸로 다시 돌아오셨잖아요.
네.
그렇기 때문에 상대하는 젠지 입장에서도 좀 골머리를 앓을 것 같은데
네.
이 부분에 대해서는 어떻게 생각하시나요?
저희도 비슷하게 이전에는 준비가 많이 되어 있지 않은 상태에서 저희가 맵뱀픽이나 이런 것들이 좀 뻔한 상태에서 젠지랑 상대를 할 수밖에 없었다고 생각해서 좀 많이 불리했다고 느끼고 있거든요. 체력적으로나 전략적으로나. 근데 지금은 그래도 저희가 어느 정도 기세를 찾고 메타도 이제 다시 저희 골로 만들었다, 좀 준비가 되어 있는 상태다 보니까 저희도 준비가 좀 자신 있다, 이 정도의 준비 상태라 좀 상대도 생각이 좀 많아질 것 같긴 합니다.
알겠습니다. Well, we just thought we were kind of behind during the group stage because we didn't get to prep that much.
Yep.
So we were always on our back foot when it comes to the mech vetoes because they were actually predictable.
Yeah.
And we were pretty busy, so the state we were in physically, we were also behind compared to our opponents. But right now we got our groove back and we figured out what to do with this current meta, and I think we can look forward to better results today.
Yeah, I think also Solo had mentioned on this task that he was very worried starting in the upper bracket because as we saw yesterday, you know, Paper X playing their first match here while Nongshim is coming in hot. You can feel a bit rusty at times. Does he think that Nongshim have the upper hand today because of that?
아무래도 솔로 감독님도 인터뷰에서 조금 위에서 기다리는 입장이다 보니까 좀 걱정이 된다라고 얘기를 하셨던 게 어제 경기만 봐도 쉬고 있던 페이퍼렉스를 상대로 농심이 일격을 날렸잖아요. 그리고 농심 같은 경우에는 플레이인을 통해서 경기 감각이 정말 최고점에 달해 있는 건데 그런 부분에서 좀 농심이 많은 이점을 갖고 있다고 생각하실까요? 오늘 경기에서도?
약간 팀이 좀 어떠냐에 따라서 좀 다를 것 같기는 한데 저희 같은 경우에는 확실히 좀 경기 감각을 계속 유지하는 게 저희 입장에서는 유리한 게 맞는 것 같고, 일단 젠지도 이미 멤버가 바뀐 상태에서 스테이지 2를 준비하는 거다 보니까 그래도 이번에 퍼시픽에 처음 온 선수가 2명 있잖아요.
네.
그래가지고 그 선수들이 쉬고 나서도 잘할 수 있을지가 좀 그게 좀 중요하지 않을까 싶긴 합니다. 네.
I think it depends on what kind of team you are, but for us it's really important that we feel sharp and not rusty. And I think for Genji, they had a recent roster change coming into stage 2. They
Yeah.
have 2 newbies that are new to Pacific stage. So I don't know, but it would be important for them to see if that break is going to help them or hurt them when it comes to those 2 new players.
And the last thing I wanted to ask Silkanon is, does he think that the pressure is different for Nongshim and Genji in this match? Because Nongshim, this might be their qualification match to champions, versus Genji, they probably still have to do a little bit more in this stage to be able to make it to champs because they're behind on champs points.
그리고 뭔가 양 팀의 입장이 좀 다를 것 같아요. 왜냐면 농심은 오늘 이기면 챔피언스 확정이고 젠지는 더 이제 부산까지 가서 결승에 가야 되는 상황인데 그렇기 때문에 뭔가 두 팀이 느끼고 있는 오늘의 부담감은 다를 거라고 생각하시나요? 네.
아마 젠지 입장에서는 그래도 저희를 넘더라도 한 번 더 이겨야 되는 압박감이 있을 거고 저희 같은 경우에는 솔직히 오늘만 이기면은
네.
그래도 어느 정도 이제 안정적으로 갈 수 있다고 생각을 하니까 사실 제가 좀 부담이 더 큽니다. 네.
알겠습니다.
네.
Well, yeah, it's definitely different in a sense where even if Genji beats us today, they still need to beat another team to get to Champions Shanghai. For us, it's just one more match. If we win today, we lock in champions. But in that sense, though, I think I'm feeling bigger pressure today.
Yeah, especially today. It is very, very important for Nongshim now. Silkanon, kamsahamnida. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll send you back to your team because it's going to be a very, very important match. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jen, as well, for the translation. And as you can see, as we were saying, Nongshim need this one win, and they lock in champs. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely crazy because if you think back to this time last year, Nongshim were, defeated by T1, and they went back to Ascension. That was this time last year. Now they are facing this one match, and they could lock in Champ Shanghai.
I think that's exactly it. No one can argue that Nongshim don't deserve to be here. They've proved it time and time again, and they get that ultimate shot today. Taking a look at the bracket, it's just so stacked. It's insane. We've also got Varel, GE, Onside Gaming, Paper Rex, T1, and KRX down there in the lower bracket. Gotta love Pacific.
Yeah, it's an interesting bracket because, as mentioned before a little bit in the interview, teams like Gen.G and Varel have probably got to make very deep runs here in this playoffs bracket to be representing Pacific over at Champions, whereas there's a lot of teams that have stacked up points. I think GE, Nongshim, well and truly in that debate. PRX have already bloody qualified, and T1, one of the leaders on points as well down there in the lower bracket. So depending on how this bracket shakes out, a lot of different contingencies to be keeping our eye on, and we'll keep you guys updated on that throughout the desk.
No, every single match just has so much bearing and has so much story in it, so you do not want to miss these final few days as we come to you live from Sangam, because as you mentioned, we're moving out in a few, so we are relishing the time that we have here. Of course, in a few days we are heading over to Busan, and I do believe we still have day 1 tickets left, so for anybody scrambling to catch the finals, please go online, get the QR code over there for any of the stuff that you might be excited to see. Get your tickets now, because we cannot wait to head over and see you all there. That note before you go, by the way, I think some of the merch has already been released. There's some interesting partnerships there.
I saw some
really
photos.
Nice. I know.
It's kind of looking clean.
I know. It is looking very, very clean, but what is not so clean are probably our build diff rosters today. I was quite disappointed by mine yesterday, but I don't know. I feel like because these matches are just so important to all of these players, now we're looking very closely at who is going to pop off today. Who wants this even more? I'm going to tell you who wants this even more. Somebody who's never won a laptop really, really wants this. Somebody who's won 2 probably doesn't want this as much.
The thing is, all you can do is just pick better players. That's my advice to you both, is you want to pick the players who are going to get the most
Is that how
kills.
you win?
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
No one
So
told me that.
I can tell you a little bit more about my team for today. I do believe, and it's a banger again, because it's always bangers. Ash on the duelist. I'm taking a bit of a different approach. He diffed Nongshim hard last time. X-Ross on the initiator. Patman on that smoke stroll. Foxy9, you got to have the goat in there. And then Texture on that flex roll. I think this is a sleeper banger team for today.
Sleeper banger. Wow. Huge.
That's what they say.
Huge. Yeah. Look, honestly, you are not like the other girls. That duelist pick was very interesting. If only somebody else had thought of the exact same thing. I've got Ash as my duelist, X-Ross as my initiator,
Okay.
Batman is my smokes player, and then I've got LP Raxkul. That's my little curveball there. I think LP is in for some good performances, and I think Raxkul is bloody underrated. This guy's an underrated rookie. Hopefully he can stick up to the pressure here against Nongshim, as Silkanon was saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think everybody's roster today is actually very, very interesting, because nobody really has the exact same roster, except of course for Paper Thin and Whack, I believe. No, they do differ in their flex picks.
Paper Thin go for Francis. Oh wait, I think the 2 most important people there are Paper Thin and Victoria, because they are in the lead right now. Vic going for Zuna, Texture Caron. Yeah, both going for Francis.
Texture Caron's always a good, nice little wombo combo for Gen.G there.
Yes.
You've got who's Paper Thin doubling up on? He's doubling up on Nongshim. I like that. I think X-Ross in the flex a little bit underrated there on the init roll. So I like that team.
Elfish guy going with Yudatan there as well. He also had a pretty good day yesterday.
I was considering Yudatan because of how, you have Varel and GE, and that's going to be very, very exciting as well. And Yudatan, tends to perform exceptionally well against, Korean squads.
Really?
So,
I've never noticed that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should introduce you to the wonderful region of VCT Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would we do that?
Yeah, we would do it by checking out today's matches. We have Gen.G taking on Nongshim, and we have Varel taking on GE. You guys are used to our shenanigans by now. And you also are so used to Jen Lee shenanigans. She sat down with some of the coaches for a quick chat before today's matches.
나이스! 형, 이길 줄 알았다니까요?
We won.
알았어, 아파.
Okay, ouch, it hurts.
농심이 이겼는데, 어떡하죠?
Hey, 농심 beat Paper X, hello.
솔직히 예상했잖아.
You know we saw it coming.
그럼 이제 어떻게 할 건가요?
What do we do now? What are we gonna do about Neon and Yoru? 네온 요루 어떡하지?
우리 락스칼 있잖아.
You got Raxgal.
젠지, 파이팅!
젠지 파이팅.
오케이 컷 하겠습니다.
They can't break the fourth wall at the end there. They suspended my disbelief, but then they shut it.
That was a real conversation. I don't
really?
Yeah, no, they were.
God, to be a fly on the
Acting.
wall in the Genji coaching booth, what a pleasure. What an honor.
That's how they sound like when they're down there. But as we can see here, Genji, of course, flawless in the groups. They must be feeling really good. But I don't know, being flawless in the groups has had a bit of a bad. I mean, it's a bit of a bad thing here in Pacific.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you
look,
say?
they dodged the play-ins. That can be good, that can be bad. But there's
True.
one thing's for sure, is this is a much more improved version of this Gen G roster. We saw them make changes, bring in Athena, bring in Rascal to massive effect. I think they were so fun to watch in the group stage. I think they're finding their own style, and I can't wait to see how this will play into Nongshim today.
Yeah, I mean, 5 wins and 0 losses. I think that really speaks for itself, but it wasn't like they were stomping everybody. The
That's
round
true.
diff was somewhat close. There was definitely losable series for them. So Genji, they're not immortal coming here into the playoffs, and I'm a little bit worried that it's some time off over the plains could be detrimental to them unless they come in with some good prep and they make sure that their players are switched on.
Yeah, that's exactly what Solo was so worried about. I remember when he was on the desk and he was actually had the nervous laughter because he was like, I don't really like starting from this position that we're in. But of course, when you talk about Genji, you talk about cracked players, and you have Texture here who has been popping off on the chamber. He's so important to Genji.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Texture, he was always a primary duelist player for the longest time, but of course, Morgan was ahead of his time. He knew that Texture was the greatest Sentinel,
It's
and
all
Chamber Chamber has been phenomenal for Genji. I really do think that they have kind of set the meta here in Pacific in terms of Chamber Sage. I think a lot of people are seeing the pros and cons of that. As I kind of alluded to in the interview with Silkanon, I was talking about Double Senti as a choice. To me, I think Cypher Deadlock is like the inflexible version of Double Senti, whereas Chamber and Sage is more of like a flexible version of Double Senti. So I'm interested to see how the stylistic matchup plays into Nongshim's quite flexible double duelist pairing here. I think there's going to be a lot of like adapting on the fly, changing up positions and things like that, and it's going to be a great stylistic matchup.
And I think with the way Genji play, it gives them the stopping power, but it doesn't take away from the individuals. What they want is they want to have Texture in exactly the right positions to be able to take those fights on the chamber. We see they're playing so much more chamber than the league average, and they're winning so much with it. 7-3 in terms of wins and losses with that chamber.
I mean, there are just some players that make sense with certain agents. We see it all across the board, all over the world.
Wait till you see his Killjoy.
And of course, classic here with Big Time pushing his own agenda and own boosting his own analysis on this. But I think we have excellent writers here in Pacific, and for Genji to make it back to Shanghai would just be so poetic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is where they won Pacific the first Masters trophy for the region, so the organization would love to make it to the champs over in Shanghai. This is such a memorable moment for Pacific overall, and there still are a few surviving members on the roster here that would love to make it over there, as well as the coaching staff.
But they're going to know their way around. They're going to know their favorite restaurants over there in Shanghai. They're keen to get back. This is a special city for all of those players. It's so amazing to see.
Karen's rookie year!
He's just a baby.
That's crazy.
He's just a baby.
His VLR was like 1 page when he won that. It was absolutely amazing to watch Genji then, and everybody has been wondering, of course, like, are they back? When will they hit their prime again? It's looking like they're on track to do just that. But one of the teams that can stop them is, of course, Nongshim, who are also on this incredible run so far. Even more so that they've got back their mojo, so to say, and their signature Neon Yoru has been leading them to lots of success.
Yeah, for me, Nongshim has peaked at the perfect time here, running all the way through the play-ins and now the playoffs. They just put down Paper Rex in very convincing fashion, which I think sends a pretty big message to the rest of the league. If they win this game today, they are most likely locked for champs. They are, I think, 18 points, if not, completely locked at that point. So I think this is a big game for Nongshim, as I was talking to Silkanon about in the interview, a little bit more pressure for Nongshim than Gen G in this game. For Gen G, if they win this game, they're far from locked. They still probably need to do a little bit more work in this tournament. But for Nongshim, they've already accrued a lot of points across this year, especially with their first win of the year over in Santiago.
Yeah, I mean, it would be monumental to send them off to champs today. That's what they're shooting for, and I think you're totally right. They're back in form at the most perfect time. I feel like they're embracing exactly what is so strong for them, and this is exactly it. The win today does lock them for champs in Shanghai, so there's no room to falter now. This is ultimately everything on the line for Nongshim to really round out their year in the best possible way.
Yeah, absolutely. This is incredibly important, and it would be so great as well for Nongshim to be able to qualify over the champs. They've been doing so well in the global tournaments, and I mean, of course, Pacific, this being the final year of this kind of iteration, would be really great if we end it with a champs trophy of our own. I'm just saying.
They've only been to one other international tournament, and they brought the trophy home there, so they have a pretty good success
It's a pretty
rate.
good win rate, right?
That's
That's
what we want to see.
100%.
I think they have a style that other regions really hate to play against. So if we do end up sending Nongshim, we can hold our heads high there. But Gen G are going to be looking to make sure that that does not happen today.
Whether it's Danby causing nightmares over on the other side or Texter doing it, I mean, it's these two teams that have just been powerhouses here in Pacific every single time. And of course, we have seen them face off before in the group stage.
Yeah, we did, and Gen G did manage to take that series away from Nongshim, which added to some of those group stage woes. In saying that, though, that was before the role shuffle from Nongshim. They were on different roles at the time. You saw X was playing the duelist here on Ascent. We're going to see if that gets shuffled around a little bit, and I don't think Nongshim was in anywhere near as good of the form back then in the group stage when these two teams played, as opposed to now. You can see it's week one of the group stage that these two teams played. This was fresh off the back of Nongshim's EWC campaign, where they made it very deep in that tournament. They were exhausted. As Silkanon said, they were underprepared. They had to permaban Summit. Now they have a lot more things going in their favor. They have momentum, they have a more well-rounded map pool, and they figured out the role. So it's going to be anything but easy for Gen G to repeat that win in the group stage.
Yeah, exactly. They were talking about it that early on in the groups, of course, the exhaustion coming from back-to-back tournaments was a big thing for them. Now we look at these two players that we have here. We have Ash and we have Danby. I think this head-to-head is going to be inevitable in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it's an insane head-to-head. This is what happened last time they squared off. So yes, there was a lot of things different, but Danby still played that Neon, and he kind of got diffed a little bit by Ash.
Absolutely.
You know, we spoke to Danby. Danby said he can learn a lot from Ash, still being able to pick that Neon even when he wasn't. But like, look at those head-to-head kills, 15-8. This was not a close matchup between these two players here. So Ash is going to look to replicate that form today.
Yeah, Ash has been in phenomenal form. Honestly, there was multiple series where he dragged Gen G kicking and screaming to a win to contribute to that flawless group stage that they had over there. It's been great to see him back on the duelist when he was in Gen G Academy, coming into the men Gen G roster. As a lot of rookies experience on Korean teams, he was kind of the extra guy. They were like, play some Enit, buddy, play some controller. Now he's on the duelist role. He gets to showcase his mechanics, and he's such a sick entry here in Pacific. He's really looking like one of the best Neons we have.
Yeah, I remember when we first saw that and we were like, where was this entire time? Because Ash is absolutely, he is a beast on this agent.
He's astonishing.
And he is astonishing. Very well.
Okay.
Good
Thank you for
one,
watching
Chop.
VCT Pacific. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Andy, wrote that one down.
Yeah, we gotta bag that for sure. We have the map data now. What maps do you think we're seeing as we're heading into this? Especially because we had a little bit of a switch up just recently.
Well, the main thing that I want to point out is that Summit was permabanned by Nongshim throughout the majority of the group stage when these last two teams played. Nowadays, it's played much more by Nongshim. They've had time to prep on it. They've played their way through the play-ins, and they've already got a win on it. Abyss has come into the map pool as well. This is something that Nongshim is quite happy to be playing. Previously, they were picking Breeze a lot, and that was actually the first ban of Gen G the last time these two teams played. So last time, Breeze and Summit were taking out first two up. This time around, what are we going to get? This is what I'm wondering. Nongshim take out Lotus, Gen G going to take out Split. So we've already got a completely different map pool here early on. Nongshim select Ascent. This was the only map that they were able to beat Gen G on in the best of 3 series over in the group stage.
So we've not seen Ascent from Gen G since that opening week against Nongshim. They were playing that Neon Phoenix with the Chamber, but obviously that's been a long time, since we've seen it. So we'll have to look for the changes there. Gen G picking Summit here.
Yeah, I think they're kind of saying, all right, Nongshim, let's see your prep. We've seen Nongshim already take a win over Team Secret on this map map, it was actually the series where they just said screw it and debuted the same roles that we saw over in Santiago with Francis playing the Yoru. But it wasn't a super clean win. I think it was a bit rough around the edges by Nongshim standards. I don't think they were playing at their peak form there. Regardless, though, that's going to give Gen G a little bit of prep, and I think Gen G was pretty solid on Summit from the group stage as well.
I have to say, I like this veto for Gen G. Summit and Sunset are two of the maps where they're running that Sage Chamber.
Yeah.
They have the stopping power there, so I like that those are the maps that they're targeting in the veto.
Yeah, and we have the map data that we have here on Ascent, and it was a big question if we're gonna replicate the same results that we had previously, right? Because we have Nongshim here that had a bunch of different iterations of their comps, but now that they've locked in, and it looks as though they're back on that signature Neon Yoru if they're running this exact same thing.
Yeah, I'd expect them to play it on every map, honestly, except for maybe Waylay on Abyss. That's the only kind of change up, but that's not a huge change up, all things considered. For Nongshim, I don't want to see them go back to any of these different variations. For Gen G, previously on this map, we were seeing Neon Phoenix. It's a style that they adopted kind of last stage, even with their old roster, with Texture on the Chamber, and then they would have either Zinx or Raxcool playing that Phoenix, as well as Ash Neon. So it's a style that they know very, very well at this point, and we'll see if they're going to keep that style or whether they'll change things up coming into this series, as they've had a lot of time to flip some of their comps and their map pool.
That's it. I think for me, they've had so much time, and I think the meta in Ascent is a lot more open than it used to be, so I'd love to see them prioritize some stopping power on this map.
As we expected, for the viewers, it's actually really quite close. These are two teams that, I mean, this match could go either way at this point with how these teams are performing. But it seems as though over on the talent side, lots of your favorite Nongshim. I feel like I have to go with Gen G right now. But just because, like, I want it, like, for the story, I want Gen G to go back into Shanghai. I want them there. That's not to say that Nongshim isn't a very, very scary team for Gen G to go up against.
Yeah, for me, I went for Gen G because I think they play in a style that Nongshim will find a little bit more difficult. And also, we spoke to Texture in the elevator this morning on the way up, and I said to him, are you going to win today, Texture? And he said, we have to win. We have to win.
Followed by that silence. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It means so much to them because they can't afford to drop down to the lower bracket. That's it. It's all on the line for them. Nongshim will have more chances. This is everything for Gen G.
Yeah.
I think for Nongshim, I feel very safe in backing them, to be honest. I think they're in fantastic form. To be honest, I think they're a lot better of a team than Gen G are. Gen G, I find some of their group stage games very close. Could have really gone either way. I'm not saying they're a poor team or anything, but I think Nongshim has played their way into such scary form that I think they put Gen G away here, even if the Sage gives them some trouble in this series.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the journey that Nongshim has been on, not even like, you know, going back all the way to last year. This time last year, again, they went back to Ascension. Back to Ascension, and then won it again. Or either like were able to qualify back into Pacific. They had to prove themselves twice, and then they win Master Santiago. It's pretty amazing. And of course, Gen G, one of the powerhouse teams that we have here, and everybody's been wanting them to get back on that global stage because we already know you have Texture, you have Karen that can perform.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Nongshim, I'm very convinced by everything they put together. They've won themselves a Masters trophy this year. I think they not only lock champs here, but I think they go deep at champs, to be honest. For Gen G, I think they've got a lot more to prove in this game, to be honest. That group stage run hasn't quite convinced me yet.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. I see it for sure. I just think that Gen G are going to be hungry because they have to finish top 2. Even if Nongshim drop to the lowers, they'll have more chances to get to that top 4 on points. I think Gen G can't afford a hiccup here.
Yeah, this is going to be a crazy match because when you talk about the very best of Pacific, it's probably these two teams and those players that are going to be stepping onto that stage that you're talking about. We're going to send it over for Gen G taking on Nongshim.
Today's matchup.
We've got a Masters matchup on that stage. The Masters Shanghai winners facing off against the Masters Santiago winners. Two teams that have brought home titles for Pacific and two teams that seem to be entering a new peak on their way to champions, Genji and Nongshim.
Yeah, look, Genji will feel like they ran so that Nongshim could walk in a way. They really trailblazed. They were the first to bring home that trophy, and it was over in Shanghai. It's been a rocky year for them. They need to finish top 2 this stage to guarantee themselves that champs, and Nongshim are just another hurdle in their way.
Yeah, I want to see how Genji go in this matchup. A couple of rookies that I got my eye on, Raxkel in particular. Afina has a little bit of experience under his belt, but definitely a player that, you know, I'm wondering how he's going to perform coming into a big matchup like this, because Nongshim are used to big matches. They've already won themselves a Masters trophy this year, and they are in very scary form coming off the back of the play-ins and putting Paper X away so comfortably just yesterday. I think that really sends a message to Genji.
Yeah, this team, once rookies, they very quickly shed off that title because they are now one of the most powerful teams that we have here in Pacific, and we have so many of these Korean teams here in the playoffs. These two teams are a clear example as to why. You have Genji with the clean groups, of course, and then you have Nongshim back in peak form with their signature Neon Yoro, which we are expecting them to thrive on in this matchup.
Yeah, we just saw Solo get the edge over Silken.
Yeah, he threw Paper, Silken through Rock.
Silken goes in for the fist bump.
Foreboding?
Solo envelops the hand. What a move there to really send a message.
You can really see the coaching staff experience gap that Genji has. They've been at this for years. Solo, a legend of the tactical FPS scene here in Korea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this game, there's so much on the line for these teams. Nongshim, this is their qualification game. It doesn't get any more important from this. But I do think they're not happy about the team that's going to be on the other side of it. I think Genji, you know, they have immense history. They'll know these players very, very well. And I also think they have a very difficult style, often to attack into. We've seen them prioritize that chamber. We've seen them prioritize that stage. And I think that's something Nongshim won't have a ton of experience with dealing with. So I think how well they are able to find answers for that will really decide the series for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. In saying that though, Nongshim has already had to play into it before with a little bit less prep. Now they've had more time to process that. I'm sure that the comp has seen enough popularity, especially in the local region, of other teams adopting to it. So you're going to have had time and experience prepping and playing against it, as opposed to, as Silkenon said in an interview, more used to playing a lot of Phoenix Neon matchups overseas and things like that. A lot of the Americas and EMEA teams were playing the double duelist pairing. So I think that they're going to be a lot more ready for this Genji style, and I think that they're going to have a lot easier of a time in this matchup. Ascent though, this was the map picked up in the last series between Genji and Nongshim, the only one they were able to win, and as such, they will pick it straight away into this series. Oh, look at that!
Wow!
Oh, baby, it's a triple.
It's a triple here. We have 100 map for Danby, for Francis, and for Ivy already.
I mean, they all came into the league at the same time.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly, on that same roster. Wow, it's been so long. They grew up so fast, and now we have the Asian comps.
Okay. They've mirrored. Okay, guys, let me make it clear to you here. Look, we were thinking Genji's going to be playing some Sage Chamber here. We've already seen these two teams play against each other on Ascent. Nongshim has just diffed T1 and Paper X back-to-back in a Neon Yoru mirror, and now Genji wants to try their luck.
Yeah, I don't love this from Genji. I would have loved to see them have a bit more stopping power. Now it's going to be on the individuals to really level up. We look at Texture, we look at Ash in these big moments to go toe-to-toe with truly the best to do this style on the other side.
Ash already diffed him in the Neon head-to-head last time around versus Danby, so let's see how Texture goes on the chamber. But as I said before, top to bottom, Nongshim is so solid as a group of players. For Genji, there's a couple of players that need to step up to that level to be able to qualify for a champion.
Yeah, exactly. I hope Genji know what they're doing here, because this match has so much on the line here for either team. So we're going to get this match started on Ascent. We're going to toss it over to your casters, the Bald and the Buff. It's Paper Thin and Quack.
Did she call me buff? I don't feel... I don't know, man.
You've been working out. You look good.
A little bit, but, you know, not as much as, like, big time in Pilski, though. So, you know, we're going to...
let's not get crazy. Like, that's not...
All right, but yeah, I mean, the real buff ones are on the stage. It's going to be Nongshim and Genji, of course, but Nongshim, like, just off of yesterday's games alone, it's like they're reaching that sort of Mach 5, Mach 6 supersonic speed. I just don't know if Genji's, even with this composition, is going to be able to slow them down.
No, I agree. I mean, I think they've, done everything they need to do to look like the best team in Pacific. I have a hard time imagining that anybody's beating them. Like, I kind of feel like I'm just picking Nongshim the rest of the way through for my predictions because they've just been that good recently. It just feels like that same energy that got them to Santiago, that won them Santiago. Genji, I mean, hell, I'm so impressed with the glow up they've had. They look so much better this stage. It's crazy. But just like, Paper X yesterday, you just might be running into the buzzsaw here today.
Oh, buzzsaw. Francis, Dambi. We really look to players like Texture and maybe even Ash to try to slow this train down. Perhaps Karen or Raxkull as well is onto the Cypher now, but starting things off on the map of Ascent, as the desk mentioned, even though this is also for Nongshim's championship qualification, Genji onto their own different comp swap. You really wonder if that's going to be able to help them that much at all. Texture previously onto the chamber was doing a lot with the snipers.
Yeah.
But what about now?
I mean, I think it's still kind of a similar idea for Texture, and we know what he can do on this map. We've seen it before in positions like where he's at. Good flash out and a good first kill for him and Ash.
Just quickly recognizing the little 4-1 split approach that most teams kind of go for, but Nongshim trying to just pick up the pace straight through mid to A. Will get slowed down by Raxkull. Double kill, quick recognition, and now it's just on to Ivy. The spike is down as well, so this is going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, you would think this is pretty undoable trying to come through mid there, so he's going to try a different angle, which makes a ton of sense because you're going to be facing like a 90-degree angle crossfire walking through those doors, so going to have to try something a little bit different. It is very difficult no matter what, and let's see if the kind of alarm bells start going off here inside of Genji's heads, and they do because camera there just makes them think something a little bit differently.
Yeah, very quick and sneaky. Karin jiggling around the corner as well. Slight timing. Will manage to hop across though, but instantly back into positions. Genji are just so ready to receive, and because of that, they pick up the pistol.
Yeah, it's a couple of good things they got going on the map, right? Like, it's the simple flash and dash, with the neon. Very classic maneuver here, something Nongshim knows all very well, but then it's also because the TP's there to get Texture into a position to double down. And then, of course, that means that you've got a little bit of help behind it, and that's Raxkull coming up big with 2 kills of his own. And not too problematic at all. Good start for Genji. Who knows? Maybe they've just got that juice. I mean, they were talking about on the desk how trying to go up against the Neon Yoru when you're also running Neon Yoru against the best to ever do it. Tricky, but maybe they could prove us all wrong.
I mean, they would really want to secure this win as well, right? Just the fact that they need those champs points. So being able to slow down Nongshim currently in the first 2 rounds with a judge triple kill can definitely give Genji that sort of boost. Texture as well. Marshall's definitely not broken. Still gonna do some extra damage while RB just looks to maximize his losses.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At this point, this should be kind of round over. I mean, RB would have to work an absolute miracle. Just the classic. Would have to get a gun and do some serious damage. They will be checking to make sure that he has indeed vacated the vicinity, and he has. So let's just stay, at least get something out of the round here.
2 very big somethings.
Yeah. And then just move on from there.
Maybe get a good read for
He's
how...
like, 30 seconds but I can go all the way around it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next round. Oh, this is where the trip is. It's a nice little download of information at the very least, You
died last. Yeah. No, I mean, it's pretty simple stuff here from Genji. Hold the line with the judge. Have the extra layers behind it. So far, so good. Ash has done really well, like the desk mentioned. He can kind of out-diff Dambi in the Neon department, but it is the rest of the fearsome foursome behind Dambi on Nongshim that Makes them so annoying to go against.
Okay. 나이스요. 좋아요.
Let's see if Nongshim can turn things around. This is, of course, Nongshim's map pick, so Gen.G did get to pick their preferred side, and you would expect on Ascent, defender side is going to be rather powerful for them, no matter what.
Even with the group stage games and Gen.G kind of taking command over that, but back then it was admittedly a different Nongshim. So respecting the pace at which, you know, Gen.G kind of operate right now with the judge in hands, Nongshim will approach this more steadily. You know, a little bit of presence towards B main.
Yeah, you got to be really careful here because of the judge, like you're talking about. Running into that is potentially catastrophic, so you have to be very smart about how you approach this space, and Ivy will be able to kind of get that extra angle.
I guess Gen.G still not too worried about that just yet. They got one-way cages, but here comes Domby sliding through. Oh, and quick with the swing and peek off of it. Lane has been compromised, and perhaps market as well, depending on how well Ivy can hold. Door still shut though, so even with the judge kill, at least the site will be captured by Nongshim. Going for some extra space and perhaps information as well. Francis will be decapitated for it, but still retaining control.
That was a hell of a shot by Karan. Jeez. That did not look like it was going to be easy, but retake getting set up. Ash and Karan definitely going to give it a go. It is their bonus.
Karan has a flash as well. Positions being held, though. They did not clear out B main. Lovely little off-angle kill by RB. And just plays for a bit of extra time now with the TP. Domby takes advantage of that situation. So we'll have a standard 1-2 start.
Yeah, that Domby's already roaring down there on stage. I can hear him all the way up here. This is great work by X-Ross and Ivy. Nice paranoia there. It's kind of a classic combo. Flash, dash, fast lane. That's so annoying. He's so good at that.
It just kind of reminds me a bit of that T1 game as well, if you remember, Paper Thin. I mean, like, it was the whole thing where mid was left open. Gen.G kind of left mid open a little bit in that round. We'll kind of see how it goes. They had a judge, so you could kind of understand why. But for now, I mean, this is just Nongshim starting to pick up steam again. So let's have a listen in to their comms.
좀 멀어.
사운드 내도 되나 B메인에서?
내도 돼. 네네.
길게 벌릴게.
삐갈 거야. 하나, 둘. 들키더라도 삐갈 거야. CT만 가릴게.
갈게요 한 번 더.
어렵고. 사이트 있어. 유로 미드. 됐잖아.
사이트.
봤어 사이트.
들어와 사이트 들어와.
나 불러. 요로 108이야 일단. 요로 108. 설할게.
살해.
요로 마이너스 108.
아케문 안 닫혀있지?
안 닫혀있어. 혁규야 좀만 앞에 가줘.
앞라인 서줘. GT 지금 내가 해줄게.
요로 반피야 얘들아. 내가 여기 쓸게. 야 요로 P일 거야. 체킹 나가면 나켓.
봤어?
Just quickly noting the Yoru, otherwise holding off angles as well and peeking off of one another. Nongshim relentlessly fighting for space, preventing Gen.G from even getting close enough onto that retake. They will be forced to capitulate and save. Wonder if they can even hold on to the rifles. Okay, should be able to get away safely now.
Even some armor damage there would have been nice to force a little bit of a rebuy out of Karan, but doesn't seem like they're going to get there necessarily. Francis will go hunting. They know that Texture's weak. I heard him in the comms talking about it, but he's not going to check the corner. So Texture will get that kill. I can hear them saying that the Yoru was 108 damage taken, so yeah, it was good read there to try to take an extra gun out. And that's just Nongshim. They lose a player early, and it doesn't matter because you still have the double duelist. Yeah, Ivy loses his battle out there. That's kind of fine in some ways. I mean, it's not the end of the world for the way Nongshim plays. I mean, you know that stun landed. There's no doubt about it. Easy money.
It just keeps happening. The echo of the duality of Domby and Francis. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's like the same opening in a lot of these, well, the past 2 rounds at least, just taking B main control. If Gen.G's not able to contest for that space, it just turns into Nongshim's launch pad.
Yeah, and it's so hard to, unless you're being really active on the push out. You know, we saw it in the pistol round, right? Like, that was probably the best looking round in terms of like a quote-unquote anti-Nongshim strategy, where you're being aggressive at mains and you're taking control of some mid space and things like that. But I mean, since then, if you play default against them, it can work, but it's hard, and especially if you have to keep falling back, because the way they stagger their util, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to throw the fast lane, dash in. Okay, we might have a paranoia to back that up. Then if the Yoru gets in, that means there's another flash there. You still have the relay bolt to clear that extra space. The way they layer things in.
It's just so much.
Yeah, and it's so annoying.
Paper X couldn't withstand it yesterday. Not much else about Gen G. I do feel, though, that map veto could be just something that Gen G are banking on, Summit and Sunset.
I mean, it's about as good of a map veto as I could have imagined for Gen G here. But I don't know if it's enough.
That's the question. You know, I haven't really seen Nongshim's Summit since then as well, and they are kind of switching up their own bans too, so gonna be very curious. But either way, even for Nongshim, just getting a lot of these wins apart from qualifying for champs, it's just getting some practice reps in on a lot of these different maps gives them such a big boost and gives us such hope for Pacific.
Yeah, well, I will say here for Nongshim, they have taken some mid space again. Now, Gen G did claim a little bit of garage space. Rascal, though, already taking damage. And Ivy's just holding a pixel angle. Oh, more damage done.
It just even kind of looks like this is what Nongshim wants. 1-3-1, a bit of pressure. Gen G starts to make a lot of noise in how they reposition. So there are some slight, slim opportunities for Ivy, perhaps, to sneak up a kill. It's going to be Texture, tries to go for it, but gets punished instead. And then now you see the pivot over, perhaps over onto A site. And as that happens, more repositioning, more openings, and slight kills being picked up by some Nongshim members. Weaker weaponry now, and Gen G trying to approach things with caution, but at the cost of space. The spike will go down.
Ivy just got dinked there, down to 5 HP though, but a backstab from RB will claim Athena. There's only 2 left for Gen G. They both have rifles, but with a player behind you and a trip in front of you, there is so much work left to do here.
Like you mentioned, right? It's all that layering. Now it's layering in terms of the players and their positions too.
It's a macro, yeah.
You could push out market, but then what?
Yeah, this has got to be kind of a tough round for Gen G, you know, as a pill to swallow, because you do some good stuff in this round. Yes, you're down, again, weaker weaponry. You could chalk it up to that, but this macro has me concerned because they're all over the map here with their ability to, you know, take a little bit of control. They are able to counter your control at B main with just one player, and then they're able to push you in a couple different parts of the map. I mean, they've got short A control, they've got A main control, they got mid control, they've got all of the map under their control. And so they have all these options on where they can pivot to. Whatever looks weakest, and they diagnose it 100% correctly. And then RB's just chilling in the background.
I just picture RB in a lab coat now, diagnosing it. Just trying to get great reads, and he was pretty spot on yesterday against Paper X as well.
RB could pull off a pretty sweet Okabe Rintaro cosplay, I think.
Okay.
That's from Steins Gate. you said lab coats, and that's the first thing my mind went to.
Ball knowers.
That's right.
People would know. We'll see if Texture knows right now as well, though. Able to pick off the first one. Instant smoke to kind of block off Nongshim's pathway. We'll see if Ivy is able to create some openings onto the A site as well. Oh, Ash. Okay.
Oh, this is so bad for Athena. There's no way he knows. He has no clue.
Could be a big pick. It's just an initial scalp to clean off, but at the same time, I mean, off of the 1-kill round B main, Ash was incented to push all the way outside of A. Has a slight off angle. Will punish X-Ross for the first. RB decides to go from the shadows because of Francis taking up some space around tree as well. 3v4 in a post-plant hold, and Francis just continues to vie for space. TP's back. Ivy gets punished, and down to a 2v3.
Time to jump.
That was a dimensional drift here from Texture. Trying to figure out what's going on, but Karan is just wrecking people right now. He has done a lot of heavy lifting in this round. I don't know about this one, RB. Gets stunned up. I mean, they haven't figured out where he is yet. Oh my god!
Lines them both up! Spots the drop as well, knows exactly where Texture is positioned, but can't quite track the crosshair over his head. Texture picks up the frag and neutralizes the score against Nongshim.
Oh my god, I thought he was going to do it. That is an absolutely nasty, nasty micro flick here. This is just kind of a little bit of, I would say, sloppiness from Nongshim, not being kind of aware that there was going to be the op there. Xros knew that Ash could be in that corner. He just wasn't really ready for Ash to be swinging when he did. Karan doing a great job there. But this is, I thought, round over, but this crouch spray means that RB's crosshairs were a little bit high. Wasn't able to adjust in time. So that's a huge win for Gen G. Even with that win, they're still in a bizarre place economically. And now, Francis is like, well, you guys used your ult last time. It's my turn. They're just going to go for the fast A hit.
Yeah, we're back to layers. Interestingly enough, though, Ash will preserve his relay bolt for the retake, but it's a bit more space that Nongshim has to worry about as well. Dambi around the edges of the smoke. A trade right back. And we're down to another numbers game. Nongshim needing to pick the right positioning in this post plant.
Well, Gen G's going to know exactly what it looks like. Just can they stop it? They have the extra player, though, so as long as they can play for trades and don't let Xros get value out of that Hunter's Fury.
Like you mentioned, though, quickly noting Nongshim's positioning as well. It's 2 inside of Capel, and they've already sniped down Xros out from main. They smoked off the only position that Nongshim had left, and with the spams taking down Francis, Gen G walks away with the lead.
Yeah, this is good stuff for Gen G. They're able to really react well to what's going on in the map, and I think Nongshim again here, maybe not having the sharpest of protocols and awareness situationally. This right here cannot happen. That you got to be careful as Xros there. You're a big win condition in that round. Can't let Texture get that free snipe kill. You know he's got that operator, and you know he's going to be heaven. Most likely.
And now we might actually have a situation pretty soon where Nongshim are going to be the ones who are pretty much broke and vying for scraps. RB this time will get punished for Ash taking a lot of forward space outside of A main, and numbers advantage has been helping Gen G a lot in these situations.
Yeah, just a nice little set play there with the paranoia. Texture still wins that fight. Ivy knew he was going to try it, still couldn't stop him, had the angle held. Texture's really feeling it so far for Gen G.
Especially with that op of his. Chamber or Yoru, the man's still just going to be that crisp. Still going to try to fight their way into these rounds, though. Nongshim looking to get the spike down on A, but Gen G's already in position for a quick retake.
And you're not going to have any smokes here either, so this is just, again, going to be tough to control.
Spike planted.
I mean, you got the operator for Texture. It ain't going to be easy.
Go, go, go.
I don't know. The ults from Nongshim, do you think that's going to help favor them?
Maybe.
All right, we'll start with Hunter's Fury. Francis to peek around it. Just trying to even out the odds, but still not quite enough yet. Oh, he TPs away! Dambi swings around it. 2 kills so far, pops the overdrive, slows down Gen G. And with the 3rd kill, Raxkull cuts his losses, picks up the op and runs away. Dambi is on for the hunt. Right up behind, no slide. So still able to puncture through, but can he hold on while Francis and Xros are, well, they went for fist bumps at the end.
Man, I mean, you were right. You nailed it, Quack. Like, those ults were the difference maker there. That Hunter's Fury to tee up the initial jump up into heaven to get the kill. I mean, this looked great. Great read on that TP by Ash, along with the paranoia landing. Texture takes down Ivy, but this right here sends Afina running to try to dodge that. Then they get pinged, and Dambi's happy to collect the second, and he's got the overdrive, and that's bad news for anybody who's going up against Dambi in that situation.
He wanted to take that off so bad.
He did.
I can't believe it, though. And right off the barrier drop, we're going straight into A site again. Ash playing around the smokes, around the fast lanes with the judge, but will get spotted out by Ivy right at the end. door shut. Francis spots, and still Texture's op shot will not be able to allow for Gen G to find any moment of reprieve. He's still going for it though.
No, it just ain't gonna work.
And now you're pretty much broke as Gen G.
One enemy remaining.
Nasty, nasty work from Ivy. He can find another, and he can. 3 in the round for Ivy. He is having a really solid go of it. But I mean, this is all about just dodging that judge, right? You get in there so quick, and they know that judge is there, and so they can just start spamming away. And I love the instant pause. Yeah, that's nuts too. But it's the instant pause when they hear that judge. It's everybody's like, what? Stop, shoot. Don't keep going.
It's just the growth all the way from like the ascensions that we've had in the past couple of years. This Nongshim is truly back to that Master Santiago winning form. Having the reads, having the adjustments, they've crumbled Gen G's economy. For a second, just a couple rounds ago, I thought Gen G might just be able to turn this back around, but I'm not so sure now.
Yeah, and you can see Nongshim here thinking that Gen G might try to go back into what worked on that pistol round with the flash and dash, and they were just surrounding that exit at B main just in case. So just being very cautious, very patient. You know, on ecos, you should be, because teams will try to throw some of their weird stuff at you, throw their curveballs at you. So good awareness, and you're gonna find that trip. Ooh, I thought for a second Texture was gonna hit that.
It was close. Down be ready for the fight as well, though. So it's just phenomenal with how Nongshim are able to try and like stay on top of some of the trick plays that Gen G might employ in this pistol, in this eco. We do have Karan pushing outside of A main, though, so a bit of info.
30 seconds left.
And then now pressure around market with Ivy pushing forward. Spots out Texture, not quite able to get the kill just yet, but eventually the onslaught will arrive. And not a single player from Gen G is able to hold that off.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt as Gen G. I mean, Karan here doesn't have the gun drawn, and he's just dead through the wall. RB got the dink and then the follow through, but I mean, this is brutal, Quack. You have the good read, you have your 4-player stack on B ready, holding, you use your overdrive, and you still lose the round because they just outplay you. Oh, that is disgusting stuff from Francis. He is so locked in lately. Guy is just smooth. Smooth as silk. That's his coach, but
cannot. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. The little flash that he had outside of the cyber cage as well. Oh my goodness. Back in with the op, and this feels like what would be Gen G's last hope. And it does pull through. A shot outside of B main as well will relieve some pressure, taking down Ivy. 3v5, and it's Hunter's Fury ripped as well, allowing Paraxkel to stay alive for a second longer, so should be a strong and hefty retake on the way.
Yeah, and you don't have any ults to worry about this time, so the 3v5 feels a little more doable. You're going to see quite a bit, and this helps too.
Okay.
Surely.
In the second last round, first half, why not?
Surely this goes Gen G's way.
It's got to, but I'm nervous. Okay, here comes Karan. Extra still holding out from hell. An even trade, and it's a low HP Athena to try to eke out this 1v1. He can't do it! 4-7. Nongshim will just continue onward.
Yeah, I mean, it's not feeling good right now for Gen G. If you can't win a 5v3 again, I think that's the second 3v5 that Nongshim has won. You get the early kill onto the smokes. You win the 1v1 against Ivy. Oh, boy. I mean, this is just... France is like, huh? Texture, what are you doing here?
Going in there one by one.
I mean, X-Ross, huge stuff from him. Holding the line down here for the 3K. Crazy round. I cannot believe they won that. I mean, I can because it's Nongshim, but...
True. And look at this now. Dimensional drift. Able to play forward though, Ash and Karan not wanting to allow Nongshim pass through the floodgates. But somehow still RB breaking through after his teammates had fallen all around. A bit of shock dart damage confirms his positioning, but he lets the drone pass! RB! Oh! Afina with the flick around!
Down A.
Ivy still trying to hold out the rounds, but Genji this time redeeming themselves for the mistakes on that previous 3v5. They will close out this first half 5-7.
Oh, this is still on a knife's edge, but you know, Genji being really proactive here on their defender side, being aggressive. I will credit them. I like some of the theory they've had for sure in some of the rounds. This one, finally, something kind of goes their way. Oh, what a turn there from Afina. Should have been dead to rights. Great work by Rascal to shut Ivy down too.
Halftime.
Oh, yeah,
take a breath. Yeah, it is stressful. It's just so much pressure, and it just gets just as hard on the other side of the map. I mean, Nongshim are very good on their defender side. Texture had a great half, don't get me wrong. I mean, the sniping is great. He's right back to where he needs to be. It's just France is also very good in that department and kind of plays a different game than Texture. Texture is very safe with the operator, usually, I'll say. Whereas Francis is a little more aggressive. He's going to want to push space. He's going to want to try to catch you off guard and get that freebie and TP out. So, going to have to be very aware of that as Gen G.
It's the way the teams kind of operate around their own comps as well, even though it's extremely mirrored up. Waiting for you in Shanghai.
I'm not sure about the Tony the Tiger thing. I haven't figured that out. I haven't figured that out yet.
Because it's Genji, Tiger Nation.
Oh yeah, of course. That's it. You're right. You're right. How did I not put that together?
Genji, G4, it's great. Sure, man.
That was so bad. I love it.
Is that a thing? I didn't know.
I don't think so.
Tony the Tiger.
I doubt it. I really doubt it. That was great, though. I mean,
man,
I appreciate you for
Thank
that.
you. I try.
I just wish Achilleos was here to suffer for the bad jokes. That's the only thing I'm missing.
I'm sure he's around somewhere.
I'm sure he's watching and groaning.
I love making you guys groan.
I mean, oh boy. Oh no. Oh no.
Tags.
Okay. No.
They pushed all the way out. Genji with a spike, still kind of in no man's land, trying to figure out this round.
Dude, they just held W from the get-go. Nice shift walked out of A.
Okay.
And they're still holding if this mid push tries to go through. I mean, this is still not easy for Gen G. They could try to sell a fake with Ash.
Or to just try and hold. Well, at least get some information that the players who pushed out A main are back in A. So trying to transport this spike safely somewhat into B site now, but Ivy close by looking to play spoiler. Still able to do a bit of decent damage. Afina comes back around to take down Francis. What a timing.
6 shots from Afina.
Go, go, go.
Clears out the site relatively with the recon as well, so takes a bit of time. They're being quite diligent with this, but will be able to get it done at the end.
10 seconds
Main
left.
thing is, though,
Spike planted.
the util still being held on by Nongshim. Might make things tough.
Player standing.
Doesn't even matter if Ash goes down initially. Down to the 2v1.
RB's trying to figure out where he went so he can let loose with the paranoia.
There he goes. Back into Boathouse. No shot. No win. And this time Nongshim picks up pistol.
Yeah, it's just so incredibly gutsy from Nongshim, just from the get-go to be like, we are going to hold W until we see them. Okay, they didn't see us. Okay, we're top mid. They haven't seen us. Okay, we're all the way to catwalk. They haven't. Okay, now they see us.
Oh, there they are.
Let's kill them. I thought this was going to go real bad for Gen G for a second, but I mean, Karan able to swing around there pretty quick, take one. They double up. They make a decent map read. Ash able to buy him a little bit of time. But then Xros and RB just really clinically work together to lock it down.
It's ridiculous. It's just so much confidence to be able to pull off these plays at a 7-5 as well. Gen G, though, with their own protocols, but it's the Outlaw trading right back. The Bandits, they've been pretty good so far this season, but is it going to be enough in this 4v4?
It's a good start. There's a real shot here for Gen G.
They're really looking for it, holding around inside of smokes, but still keeping distance away from Gen G. Francis able to do some extra damage. Guardian now chiming in. Not quite able to get the one close by, but eventually they will get it done with Dambi onto that stinger. Just Athena left, and Dambi buys time for Extros to get up from behind. It's not even needed, just right at the end. The defuse to completion and alt points all being collected up upon.
Yeah, and you're just kind of going through and getting the guns you want for the next round. They were talking about it a little bit. They want to keep the Outlaw, they want to go for the Spectre. I personally think the Spectre might be the better option in some ways, even though the Outlaw will force out the full armor buys. And in Francis's hands, it's pretty nasty with the thing, but this one right here,
yeah,
pretty good. Went for the no-scope, didn't work. I'd say that's the only thing that was kind of sketchy for Nongshim there, but again, you're doing just fine.
Yeah, what are you going to do sometimes? No scope. Still, though, it's enough decent damage by Gen G, I guess, with the Bandits. So, a bonus should be unlikely.
You say that.
I know.
You say that. I mean, they're watching for it this time, at least.
Look at them again. All right, yeah, there we go. Spots them out, but instant pull off the utility, and Nongshim's kind of happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose a player there, but you're at least, like, kind of getting a read. You're conditioning Gen G to do some things for future rounds, potentially. To have to play really far back at the beginning of rounds, which could give you some A-main space, or kind of make you know when they're going to fight for it a little bit easier with the way they're going to layer util in.
Precisely. I mean, you just could foresee rounds where Francis starts to take different lines, perhaps with an op. I mean, he was saved up on this round. Maybe he starts to push up outside of B main, and that could then dampen Gen G's approach in some of the future rounds. But for now,
yeah, Nongshim has no idea. They gambled incorrectly here. It's going to be the A site plant for Gen G. And let's see how they want to set up this post plant. I mean, with texture so deep over its short, this is really tricky for the players that are going to be coming through that direction. Right now, just RB maybe, or they might go for the flood out of heaven. Nope, they're gonna try this. Texture is just in such a good position to punish. They could set up a nasty crossfire here.
Just give it a shot anyway. I mean, you've given, like, Gen G every winning condition that they could hope for in a post plant. And with that, that could be information for future retakes as well. Now they'll know perhaps it's Athena, Raxkull, Texture, as you mentioned, up around tree. Now keeping them somewhat contained or looking for some exits. Nongshim not too deterred by the outcome. We'll just go down to the spike nonetheless. But Gen G definitely happy with the round picked up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, here as Gen G, you're feeling good that you're able to get a good read in the pre-round, the barrier drop. And you're able to take them down pretty cleanly. And then a good crossfire setup that works perfectly. You know, Rascal has the shorty, he gets one, Texture around the back, gets another, and that's GG. So, very clean. And you're really going to need that as Gen G. And Francis will be into the op here, and that's where things really get scary against Nongshim. Just like against Gen G when Texture is the op. It's the same thing, basically.
Just perhaps different approach, but it is Nongshim onto the defense. Gen G trying to pick up the pace. We'll have a listen in to their comms.
Spike down A.
해븐 오퍼. 빡. 직한다 나.
오면 지금 하나야. 투박. 투박 오면 지금 하나.
One enemy
해븐 오퍼.
remaining.
해븐 들어와. 까비. 뚫을만 했어? 지금 나 몰라 때문에 들었긴 했어.
Just kind of dived into that one in the most chaotic moment, but very well held by Nongshim.
Oh, it's RB. I mean, he got a nasty double in here somehow. That's typical for Dambi. Gets caught by the Hunter's Fury, though. Oh,
no.
Man! He has hit a couple wicked double kills on this map.
나이스!
like, what is that a read? Like the Hunter's Fury, but because RB was just positioned inside of Hell the whole time?
It's just like good Omen, like maneuvering,
like TP to the back, huh?
Yeah, it's just the little things like where you're keeping your opponents kind of guessing where you're actually at, and you think maybe the Hunter's Fury cleared a certain angle, and then he's back there, stuff like that. Really tricky. I mean, Texture does have an op as well. Getting close to some ult cycles here for Gen G, but Nongshim already into a big one with the Dimensional Drift. Dambi one away from an overdrive, so scary stuff for Gen G. See if they can get through it.
Take flight.
Gonna look for safer options of entry. Quite peculiar though with how Francis was positioned out by Fountain. Doesn't really spot anything around Catwalk, so that's gonna be Dambi now just thinking that he can have a free stroll. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And off of that pick, thinking that rotations might have gone over closer towards the A site, Gen G decides B site as their final port of call.
You would think that maybe Gen G would try to capitalize on that mid-pressure that they've been able to effectively create by proxy. Oh, Francis. I don't see a TP up.
30 seconds left.
That was way too risky. Will cost him his life and eventually cost the team the site as well, unless Ivy is really able to pull off the most insane anchoring right now. Kill trip, but not the second kill. And with 10 seconds to go, Gen G are able to get the spike down. Texture right up behind, and as an additional layer on that op, it's just going to be RB left, and that's way too much damage sustained. Gen G starting to close in on the gap.
Not bad. Again, good reads on the tendencies of Nongshim here by Gen G. You can see that they've definitely come into this prepared, done their homework, reading that they like those catwalk pushes, and they've waited out, kind of let Nongshim get impatient, make them think that Gen G's given up space and forgotten about it when that was all according to plan. There you go, Texture with that op. As usual.
Timeout.
Very, very good, and I like this from Nongshim. I think as well, uncharacteristic to see Francis being that aggressive with an op when he doesn't have a TP. I don't know what he was doing there.
It's a little bit much.
Yeah. I mean, if you're walking out like that on your own, I guess you're hoping that they just left Rascal out there and you're going to be able to win a 1v1, but if you run into the stack, you're just dead and that's op down. And you don't have enough money to buy it into this next round, so, I mean, you have an overdrive, which is maybe arguably better in the hands of Nongshim. But still a little kind of as much. I'll say this. The last time we saw Francis with the operator on this map, he was unbelievably clean. Like, made almost zero mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
This is, that one wasn't so. But, I mean, they did lose a player early.
Just all things to consider, I guess. I mean, sometimes you find yourself a little bit lost in the sauce or too far forward and maybe no real escape plan either way. That said, though, I mean, the outcome of the rounds are definitely felt by Nongshim. Gen G close to their ults, which they can kind of bank on and layer forward into next rounds. Right now, off the timeouts as well, they're kind of reading how Nongshim might want to play aggressive off barrier drop. Will be able to walk away with a 2-for-1 trade, make that 3. Still dipping back in Texture. Oh, you greedy boy. You gotta love this. One shot left in the mag, and he's still eyeing down this smoke like a hawk. Perfect shot. 4K in the round. We're now up 8-10.
There's Mr. 4K. It's only a matter of time before he strikes. And again, they're reading the tendencies of Nongshim really, really well right now. And that's why we're getting close in the gap. I mean, they come out of this timeout and they know exactly what Nongshim's going to do. Now the real question is are they going to be ready for the rifle round? But yeah, here they read this crunch off of that smoke at top mid. I'm pretty sure that gave them exactly the read they needed. But they pre-barrier drop again. They were in the right places, so this is a huge round. So many ults on both sides. Operator back in play for Francis.
This goes here.
This could be maybe the map decider in some ways, if Nongshim can win it.
Okay.
But they're being much more cautious this time. This is much more defaulty. Look at that deep trip over at the back stairs of B.
No.
They're willing to give up a little bit of space. Trying to play a kind of a kill trip setup for Xross, maybe? That's my suspicion.
Yeah, otherwise, it's just Ivy as well. I mean, kind of leaning on Francis to be able to pivot around both sides. A bit of info around the drone for now. And a deep smoke, as is common for both teams to do. But the stun onto RB ensures that he will be caged in. Francis into position now. But Gen G taps the pause button. Sets up their own execute. Corner check, but Dambi still gets away with daylight robbery. Charon punishing in for it. But now it's Xross. Francis in position. Dimensional drift for added pressure. Raxkull way too far, separated off from the pack, and with 20 seconds left to go, can he get this done? Able to take down the first. Picks up the spike as well. Oh! Swings into the pixel angle!
10 seconds
What a headshot! Still though, in the 1v1, Ivy off the right timing stabs him in the back. Nongshim up to 11.
Oh man, Rascal almost pulls off a miracle here for Gen G. It's so damn close. I mean, RB's just screwed in this position. He can't TP out at that point. He's too committed. That is ridiculous from Dambi.
Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous. And Xross here finding that second, really, really important.
Yes, though. The pre-fire onto Francis's angle.
That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. He's like, it's scary. Ivy's just locked in. He's just like, yeah.
No.
I'm fine, bro.
Oh, I can't believe that was Raxkull's neural theft, though, and just like down to the time of the spike canning planet. Oh.
He went for the big play. I can't blame him. He had the chance. It was right there in front of him.
We're punching nudes now? Noodles?
I don't know. The other one just says, let's TP to Busan. So. And then this one just says, Seoul to Busan to Shanghai. A lot of fans here for both teams.
I know. I can't imagine how Busan's gonna look like as a final send-off to the whole Pacific League. But of course, with the teams and their eyes set on the winning prize, that ticket to champs, maybe finally winning one for our region.
Let's go.
Yeah, maybe. I hope. I'm a little concerned about Nongshim here today. They feel a little sloppy.
Have to admit, Gen G's putting up a good fight.
My camera is destroyed.
Very much so. And again, that's credit to Gen G because they are really kind of reading these rounds ahead of time, pre-barrier drop.
Nongshim with the read right now, though. B main got Francis get crash back over onto A Heaven.
Gotta go.
Let's see if Gen G can figure this out.
Oh, they're just going in with their own execute. A bit of fake pressure as well. Hunter's Fury ripped out. Both sides just vying for this space. Gen G at some point just calls it for a commit into it. Full 5v5, let's go!
That was 3 players tagged up by that Hunter's Fury, though, so they're going to be very weak for Gen G.
Perfect chance for Dambi on that overdrive as well, but I guess Karan just trying to do his best to buy time and space away from it. Had a Paranoia launched through. Door space being taken, but here comes Dambi. He's slipping and sliding. He gets both doubles alongside Xross again. Just texture all the way layered back towards main, and it's a position very well read by Nongshim. The full high-low, a triple stack totem pole, and texture cannot break it down. It's map point for Nongshim.
They're just so explosive on these retakes. It's so frustrating to go up against. Like, once the door opens, they actually wait Gen G out here a little bit for them to push through. And then they're like, oh, go time. That means they're going to be weaker numbers on site. So that's the perfect opportunity to throw Dambi in there with the overdrive, where he's way less likely to get killed with it in hand. And Xross as well. Huge 3K again. Man, this kid is good.
He's like so good at filling up space after Dambi just starts off with his own initial double.
Dambi's still having a phenomenal map. 19 kills. He is really on a tear recently.
He's keeping his judge.
Why not?
Corner. Oh my god, straight into the cage.
He didn't take any damage?
No, none whatsoever. RB now. Little trade against Dash. Ivy coming back forward with the neural theft, and that's just additional information to give Nongshim the position to close out the map. Afina, though, hell-bent on trying to keep this going. Unfortunately, will not be able to keep things up as well. Dambi back around middle.
You should be thinking B as Nongshim because of that kill onto Ivy. But they're going to really hedge their bets here, our Nongshim. They're going to let Xross try to figure this out on his own and put Dambi more middle-ish.
Yeah, otherwise, Nongshim still have cushion as well, so they're quite comfortable. Just trying to play the most unorthodox position.
Xross just might be able to hold it all on his own, and he does! Double kill right at the end. Had several all throughout the second half, and they just end Gen G 13-8 on the first map.
Yeah, I mean, I think here for Gen G, you're feeling okay because you challenged them pretty well on their map pick. You were pretty well prepared for it, but you're also not feeling great because they still won a lot of rounds they shouldn't. You threw away some golden opportunities here, and you cannot give Nongshim those chances. You cannot give them those extra rounds. They're too good for that, man.
You're talking about it. I just remember that point at 5v3, and that was tossed aside. I can't believe it, but what a map it was on the first one. We're going to toss it down to the stage with an interview with Silkenon.
Hey guys, Jen here, down on stage with Coach Silkenon of Nongshim. Now, Coach Silkenon, congratulations on the first map, but as you said, you guys had to play against a bunch of Neon Phoenix comp, and then when you come back, this is the third time in a row that a team picked Neon Yoru into you guys. So at this point, from Coach's perspective, how does that make you feel? 감독님 승리 축하드리고요. 일단 유럽 가서는 네온 피닉스 엄청 많이 상대해봐야 됐었고 지금 세 팀 연속으로 농심을 상대할 때 네온 요루를 선보이고 있거든요. 이쯤 되면은 감독 입장에서 상대가 네온 요루를 골랐을 때 좀 어떤 생각이 드시는지 궁금합니다.
솔직히 막 그렇게 크게 생각이 드는 건 없고요. 아무래도 요루가 좀 다방면에서 좀 좋은 캐릭터다 보니까 이제 좀 시간 지나면서 다시 기용하게 됐구나 정도로만 생각하는 것 같습니다.
Not much. It's just it makes me think how Yoru's been becoming more and more versatile as the time passes on, and that's just it. Well, moving on to the second map, what is your plan? Is there anything you would like to add to your game? 이제 2세트 들어가기 전에 조금 더 보완했으면 하는 부분이 있으실까요? 아니면 이대로 너무 좋다이실까요?
좀 더 자신감을 가지고 했으면 좋겠습니다.
알겠습니다. Well, I guess I would like them to have more confidence in the second map. Thank you so much, Silkenon, and I'm gonna let you go now. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Well, if Nongshim get any more confidence into that second map, this could probably be a very, very quick match. We had an ascent that was very, very close. However, I feel like Gen G, this just slipped away from them so many times.
Yeah, look, for me, Nongshim really showed their class here on this map. This was their pick. It's a map that they love, and they started this series off incredibly strong. I think Gen G had decent ideas. I think they had the foundations there for how to beat Nongshim, but unable to execute against the real heavy firepower of Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk a little bit more about the game plan in a minute. They had the better end of a lot of the opening duels. I think credit to Texture and Caron. Both of them were actually able to go toe-to-toe in the Neon Yoru mirror, but top to bottom, I think Nongshim was a more solid team. They were clearly in better form after playing multiple matches back-to-back. So when it came to some of these XVX situations, Nongshim was able to overcome Mantis' advantages time and time again. They were able to be more clutch, and you could just tell, even at the end of the game there, Xross is just holding like an open angle in a 1v2 confidently. Nongshim knows that they're the sharper team, and they're just going to shoot Gen G.
Yeah, and Xross, he even looks surprised by his own plays sometimes. You know, he's like, I'm just here, I'm just shooting, I'm just, you know, doing what they're telling me to do.
Yeah.
But it's just that Gen G, again, this just feels like this slipped away from their fingers rather than Nongshim playing extraordinarily well. Yes, they did play well, but it just feels like there are just too many mistakes on side Gen G.
This is what I was talking about. So literally, most of these first duels are dominated by Texture and Ash. They had man advantage so many times in this game, but look at Nongshim, 7 out of 9 post plans. When it comes to the XVXs, once you get into these messy situations where RP or Ivy are lurking, working through the map or finding timings, or you have to actually convert one of these post plants, that's where Nongshim is classically going to give any team problems. But Gen G in particular, I think fragging wise, we're not top to bottom solid enough, and Texture and Ash cannot do everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I think you can give your players structure, but you can't give them the tenacity that Nongshim seem to have. I feel like they fight their way back into every single round there. So we take a look at the scoreboard. You see 7 first kills for Texture, but it's not enough in this game. Nongshim, they do claim their own map pick. Right now, they're 1 map win away from champions Shanghai. Gonna be all on the line as we move throughout this series.
Yeah, it's getting really exciting, and Nongshim, I'm pretty sure they can taste this victory already. Again, if Silkanon said that all they need is like more confidence going into the second map, this series is as good as theirs. And on the side of Gen G, we were talking earlier about Silkanon mentioned that they still have a roster that is still adjusting to each other, and I think that's a good example as to exactly how, because you see the game plan. The game plan is there, but it's just, as you guys mentioned, the execution just not quite as seamless as it would be on teams that actually spent an entire year together.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give credit to the calling as well as the game plan from Gen G's coaching staff here. Before this timeout, Nongshim was doing the Nongshim special. They were slamming sites, they were particularly slamming B and trying to abuse Athena and Raxkul in particular. You see this A set play with the quick TP over from Texture to be able to kind of change up the angle. He offers a flash in towards this A set play, and then a beautiful retake here for Gen G as well. This was fantastic. Like, honestly, it felt like Gen G had a lot of the right pieces in the right places, but unfortunately Nongshim was able to come away with a lot of these clutch rounds.
Yeah, this is exactly how they wanted their defender side to look. They want that Yoru to be moving towards the strength. They know Nongshim like to move fast, so they're dominating in the mains time and time again. That's exactly the same set piece where they win in the mains. Texture can go across to B and sort things out over there. So I think the ideas were there, the structure was there. That gives me some confidence for Gen G as we move forward throughout this series, but structure wasn't enough in this game.
No, it's not, because at the end of the day, you look at their defensive side, they had 2 rounds off the back of a good game plan, 2 rounds off of winning the pistol, but outside of that, Nongshim was adaptable enough there. They had a good game plan to deal with the death ball of Nongshim 4-1ing in the mains or 5-0ing in the mains and slamming sites, but that's where Nongshim is more adaptable. They're able to start to slow the game down. Ivy and RB get more involved in the lurks. There's depth to Nongshim's game plan. It's why they're so hard to stop. You can objectively look at what they do on paper and watch the VODs, but playing against it is a different story.
Yeah, and there's also that synergy that they've been working on this entire year, right? We go over to Gen G, and again, some of the rookies that are on their roster, you have Raska, and you have Athena here that didn't quite step up as much as we wanted them to on this first map.
I mean, look, he doesn't have to do a lot. I'm not saying that Athena needs to absolutely diff Nongshim, but the thing Athena did in the group stage so well is some of his kills were impactful. He was able to come away with clutches. He was able to clinch some important rounds for Gen G. Unfortunately, in this game, he had no impact, and that's where I'm looking at a team like Nongshim top to bottom that are fragging-wise very solid. Even the callers are coming away with some massive impact plays, and this is just not going to be good enough for a Gen G that wants to win this series unless they can turn it around.
Yeah, I think if I'm other teams, I feel like I can target their ascent here. Their B site is guarded by Athena and Rascal, the 2 newer players into this roster, and I think there was a little bit of a hole in that site, so that's going to be something they're going to want to patch up, but they can forget about that for now. We're moving on to Summit.
That's right, Goldfish memory has to come into play here for the side of Gen G. We are going forward into Summit, and perhaps Gen G might be feeling a little bit more comfortable here.
Look, so I think ultimately they showed strong game planning for that first map of Ascent, which to me gives me confidence as we move towards Summit. Their own map pick, we've seen them run this chamber stage a bunch of times, and the fact that they had counters ready in that first game should mean that they have counters ready in this one, and they have a lot more tools to work with.
Yeah, Nongshim had to show this after permabatting it in the group stage up against Team Secret. It was anything but a flawless game, but it was at least a decent game where they showed some of their tendencies. That's going to be up to Gen G to exploit. The last time around these two teams played, Gen G won the series and lost Ascent. So this is, you know, the same kind of situation that they've been in before at the start of the group stage against Nongshim. I think that they can take some solace in that. Not to mention the fact that now they're going on to back-to-back maps that they've been quite strong on, Summit and Sunset, and they play their best possible style, which has been the Chamber Sage. I think there's every chance that Gen G can reverse sweep this series, but they need to kind of shake off some of those initial first game nerves or first map nerves here, whereas Nongshim's just been playing games back to back to back.
Yeah, exactly. It's entering the match a little bit rusty, and you can't help it, right? They had such a long break, and it's a double-edged sword. Like, being able to place well coming from the groups and the skipping play-ins all together, you get to sit back pretty and watch the games, but you come into this very, very cold. Let's see how Gen G is doing. We're going to send it over to the stage with Jen, who is standing by with Solo.
Here with Coach Solo of Gen G. Now, Solo, what made you guys opt for the Neon Yoru? 감독님, 일단 네온 요루 조합으로 좀 조합에 변경을 주셨는데요. 특별한 이유가 있을까요?
저희가 어센트 조합을 많이 시도하다가 저희가 스크림 할 때 이 조합이 제일 스크림 성적도 좋고, 네, 그래서 선택하게 됐습니다.
We actually tried a lot of different comps on Ascent, and this one had the best result when it comes to Scrim, so that's why we went for it. Well, there were a few critical rounds where you couldn't really convert the man advantage into wins. What needs to change heading into the second map? 그리고 뭔가 약간 중요한 순간에 수적 우위를 좀 라운드 승리로 가져오지 못한 흐름도 있었는데요. 2세트 들어가기 전에 이 부분에 대해서는 좀 어떤 얘기를 하셨을까요?
저희가 일단 유리한 시점에서 좀 많이 졌거든요. 그래서 그 부분에 대해서 좀 유리한 경기로 갈 수 있었는데 져가지고 선수들이 좀 많이 좀 기분이 안 좋았었는데 그래도 빨리 잊고 2, 3맵 이기면 되니까 네, 우리가 서밋을 픽했기 때문에 잘하니까 열심히 해보자. 네, 그냥 긍정적으로 얘기해줬습니다.
On Ascent, there were rounds where we had the opportunity to win and bring the momentum towards our side, but we let it slip away and the energy was down. So I told the guys, hey, GG go next, forget about it. Summit is our pick and we can have a good performance there. Well, thank you very much, Solo, and hope you guys have a good game on Summit as well. 네, 감사합니다.
Forget about Ascent. Head into Summit because this is our map pick. I am expecting that Gen G will be able to bounce back here and go into this refreshed and renewed.
Yeah, so look at the Asian comp here. This is what we're expecting out of this matchup. This is the stylistic matchup that we were waiting for. Neon Yoru playing into Chamber and Sage, the double Senti comp that Gen G has been piloting. Gen G will start on the attacking side here. I'm looking at texture on the lurk. I honestly think Nongshim, the way they play, is hyper aggressive in the mains. They really are looking to either run into the pack of Gen G and win the team fight or find texture and pick him off before you head into a post plant.
Yeah, I think Gen G have everything they need to disrupt that style of Nongshim. For Nongshim now, this is a map that can qualify them for champions in Shanghai. One map away now, securing that top 3, securing their place. It's on Gen G to stop them.
Like we mentioned, Nongshim can probably taste this already. They are probably minutes away from qualifying into champions. But if Gen G can't stop them, then this match goes all the way into 3 maps. What outcome are we going to get out of this one? We're going to find out as we toss it on over to Paper Thin and Quack once more.
Oh, it's just gonna be such a bloodbath. The map picks, Summit, the stylistic matchup as well. I mean, what kind of outcome do you think we're gonna get here?
I have no idea. This one is a bit of a wild card for me. I think a style that Gen G plays that can potentially slow down Nongshim at the same time. Many have tried, few have succeeded to slow them down, so anything is possible, but man, I mean, I just feel like Nongshim's in such a groove. Could be tough, but I agree that Gen G had some good reads, they had some good ideas, and it did end up kind of causing Nongshim some grief, and if they don't toss a few of those man advantage rounds, could have been a different map.
It definitely does go quite close. They had some adjustments as well. Of course, Nongshim's confidence still giving them such a big boost as well, though, and to think that Nongshim could potentially qualify over to another international appearance, Champion Shanghai on a map that's based in China, that's pretty poetic too.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, little mid-presence. And here we go with the A main push as well.
So much noise being made here.
Extros quickly ready to receive. Oh my goodness, and somehow RB is still alive too. Texture able to fend off the initial push outside of A main, but immediately needing to pivot back around. Low HP as well, and he goes down. 1v3. Karan does not survive. It's 2 out of 3 pistols so far for Nongshim today.
Yeah, this is a really nice read and a better play from RB and X-Ross. That Sage jumping in there, trying to be the distraction for Ash. And they play this beautifully, kind of this pull back. Oh, that second kill for X-Ross is disgusting, and he gets a third in the round to boot. Texture, I mean, hits some nice ones. He's been solid today, no doubt. Him and Ash had a great map 1. It's just not enough. There's so much depth here on this Nongshim team.
You know, at this point, I really love it.
I mean, I like it, but I also worry about him. I worry about the vocal cords. That's my, as a caster, are we asleep? Are we asleep?
Okay, Francis. Can't be doing that. But again, it's some of these first bloods, and instantly as they push past the smokes, it's an open crossfire that easily gets picked up. Now it's all onto the lurk player, Raxkull, who's pushed all the way up middle. Still around the smokes, though, and it's more positions that Nongshim are quite aware of.
Well, not too bad here at all for Nongshim. You're keeping basically what you want into this next round. I don't know what's going on with Francis. It must have been looking at the map, but kind of a oopsies there. He probably could have taken a couple down with him before he got traded or got out of there, but I didn't see if he had the TP up or not. I assume he did. It's pretty early in the round, but yeah. That after that, it's just kind of a meat grinder there. Coming through onto that B site. Now, rifles for Gen G. Already starting to feel like you can't give up a bonus here.
Just really don't want to. But who knows? I mean, some rifles purchased up again. I mean, X-Ross has been racking them up.
There are 2 players who are one-tap to this Outlaw. Ash and Charon.
Which is why there's a lot of positioning out towards the far exits of top, mid, and A-Link as well. But Texture starts things off pretty neatly.
Did get hit. Can be healed, though. So, not the end of the world.
Just trying to create little gaps across the map, Gen G.
Yeah, but they're not really succeeding. I mean, they do have a little bit of B main opened up because of that kill onto Francis, but so far Nongshim has been able to hold their defaults relatively unbothered, so this should kind of give you a decent idea off that Prowler.
Yeah, quickly the pivot over as well, down B. So it's a good bit of legwork and building blocks already set up by Gen G, but can they get that full conversion? Should be able to, you're thinking it. But here is X-Ross again, collecting up skulls and heads. He does decently with 2, until eventually Rascal comes and puts him down. 1v3 for Ivy.
Spike planted.
You know, that wall there makes it a lot trickier for him.
Slow as well.
Yeah, that means the Sage can just make your life miserable.
And that's what we've been looking for with this compositional matchup. How does the Sage play against the Neon Yoru? Certainly helping out in the post plants right now. Texture picking up onto the 3K, so Gen G, a nice way to recover.
Yeah, it is a little bit concerning here because I think he had a pretty good opportunity. I don't know how in the world. I see. RB went for the shot on the entry player, and Texture just walked out and knew exactly where that was coming from. X-Ross, the fact that he gets away with 2 is pretty nuts, but he went for the spray into that poison cloud, anticipating that there was a player in there. He just guessed wrong on the timing. Now, Texture does have his ult.
You want to
Sit
play?
on top of it. Starting things off with more B main pressure again. Nongshim kind of competing for the fight, unfortunately eating bullets instead, though. Let's have